Could the next Silicon Valley be 250 miles above Earth? It sounds like science fiction, but in reality, the global space economy is projected to explode, reaching over $1.8 trillion by 2040, according to Morgan Stanley, 2023. And here's the twist. What if Donald Trump, a figure more often associated with border walls and trade wars, has actually launched the next great American economic boom? In orbit, from controversial deregulations to the creation of the Space Force, Trump's policies may have planted the seeds for a space-driven industrial revolution. Stay with me, because what you're about to discover could completely reshape how we think about America's next economic frontier and Trump's true legacy. From steam engines to satellites. Let's rewind. The 1800s saw the rise of railroads. Massive government land grants, private investment, and deregulation fueled an explosion in trade and industry. Fast forward to the 1980s and 1990s, and Silicon Valley became the nerve center of the digital economy. Reagan's hands-off regulatory stance, public R&D spending, and venture capital fever created the tech titans we know today. Different centuries, different industries. But the formula? It's remarkably similar. Government support plus private sector innovation plus regulatory breathing room equals economic liftoff. And now, as we stare into the vast expanse above us, could space be next? Trump's space gambit, calculated chaos or economic genius? When Donald Trump came into office, his economic playbook was clear. Cut red tape, slash corporate taxes, prioritize American investment. But buried under headlines about tariffs and tweets were critical policies aimed at the stars. 2017. Trump signed Space Policy Directive 1, directing NASA to return to the moon with help from the private sector. 2020. His executive order on space resources gives U.S. companies the right to mine the moon and asteroids. He deregulated satellite launches, easing the path for new entrants like Rocket Lab and Astra. And yes, he founded the U.S. Space Force, mocked by comedians, but seen by strategists as vital to protecting American orbital assets. Was this chaos? Or was it calculated? Garage to orbit. The rise of orbital entrepreneurs. Let's talk innovation. In the early 2000s, Elon Musk was laughed at for betting his PayPal fortune on rockets. Today, SpaceX regularly launches astronauts, resupplies the ISS, and cuts launch costs by over 80% compared to the shuttle era. Just like the early days of personal computing, venture capitalists are pouring money into space. NASA, under Trump, expanded partnerships with private firms. The result? We now have space tourism, Blue Origin, 3D printing in zero gravity, and real-time satellite internet. The cost of launching payloads has dropped from $18,500 per kilogram in 2000 to under $1,500 per kilogram in 2024. When you remove regulatory gravity, economic liftoff becomes possible. The next frontier is geopolitical, but this isn't just about dollars and dreams. It's a race, and America isn't alone. China aims to build a moon base by 2030. They've already landed on the far side of the moon and sent rovers to Mars. For Trump, space wasn't just a sandbox for billionaires. It was a strategic theater. His administration viewed orbital dominance as key to economic and national security. That's why he accelerated GPS modernization, anti-satellite defense funding, and pushed for American leadership in lunar exploration. The question isn't if we go, it's who gets there first and who owns the infrastructure when we do. Wall Street's final frontier. Trump's business-friendly policies did more than deregulate. They made space investable. Virgin Galactic went public via SPAC in 2019. ETFs like ARKX now bundle top space stocks for retail investors. VCs funneled $70 billion into space startups between 2015 and 2023, much of it enabled by regulatory flexibility and federal contracts. Space is no longer just for governments. It's a legitimate asset class, drawing in billionaires, hedge funds, and even Reddit traders. In a vacuum, capital still flows. If the pipes are unclogged, that's Trumponomics at work. From border walls to lunar gateways. Here's a thought. What if Trump's loudest political battles were actually distractions from his most lasting economic impact? Just as Reagan is retrospectively credited with creating the conditions for the tech boom, Trump's deregulations and space directives might be what future textbooks remember. He may not have invented rockets, but he opened the skies to capitalism. Could the asteroid miners of 2040 owe their existence to a president most people associate with Twitter spats? History has a strange way of revealing true legacies, sometimes long after liftoff. America's future is looking up. Literally. What we've seen before is happening again. Deregulation, heavy check mark. Public-private synergy, heavy check mark. Ambitious national vision, heavy check mark. Railroads transformed trade. Silicon Valley transformed technology. Now, space might transform both economy and society. And strangely, Trumponomics might be the fuel. So, do you think Donald Trump deserves credit for launching the space economy? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Check out our links for space-focused ETFs, NASA programs, and how to invest in the orbital economy. And don't forget to subscribe to Econolocast, where economics always comes with altitude.